Okay, so I've talked about, driving. I've talked about alcohol. No, drugs. Alcohol is drugs, isn't it? Yeah. Talk about it, big. I think I talk about alcohol and drugs, so it's two different separate things. I think I talk about that. I'm not sure, but we're going to come back to this because I've been talking about other stuff that I need to get off my chest. So today we are going to talk about stranger danger. Now, I've mentioned this in my last videos. So I'm going to tell you some tips, okay? So there are a lot of, how do I put this gently? There are a lot of people out there who not are strangers, but, you know, so for example, we've got people who come here and take care of us. Now, technically, at first, I don't know, this is very hard to explain. Technically, they're not strangers to us anymore because we are used to them, and they're very loving people, the people that we have. So they're very loving and kind and stuff, so that's okay. But a couple of times we have people entering the house and we don't even know them, and they just feel they feel like a stranger to us at first. So people like that, and it makes you feel I mean, we're in our own home technically, but when someone comes in, it just makes you think, well, at first when you meet someone, they're a stranger and you know them. So, that's different from the real world. That's different from the real world, because the real world has strangers not all around, but, you know, I see people doing I don't know how you do the Australian thing. Let me think. You know, when people take, why did I do the little fun thing? I'm not sure. They do like that. They do it that way, but I can't do it that way because I can't see. So they offer a lift, and sometimes they do that. I think that's the American way. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. But yeah, so people want a lift, and you're like, no, because I don't think this is a law, but okay, so I'm going to give you some tips, okay? So, number one, if a stranger offers you to ride in a car, do not ride in their car, basically. So, what I'm trying to say is, if a stranger offers you a ride, do not take that ride, okay? Strangers are very dangerous. You don't even know these people. What if they kidnap you or something like that, okay? So, do not take a stranger's car, okay? Do not go into a stranger's car, okay? Number two, do not walk with a stranger, okay? So, if you know them, if you know their family, then that's okay. I'm talking about actual strangers, on the streets maybe. So, so number two, do not walk with a stranger. I think that's about it, okay? Number three, do not talk to a stranger. Now, what I mean is, do not talk to a random person that you don't know, okay? But that's very weird and logic and stuff like that. So that's, do not talk to a stranger. Do not ride in a stranger's car. Do not walk with a stranger. So there are a couple of things. Sorry, I've got something stuck in my mouth. Number four, I think that's about it. I'm just going to go up to 3, okay? So, strangers, you don't even know these people. So if you ask them for a ride, you don't even know these people. So technically, you're putting yourself at risk and in danger. Okay, so do not take a stranger. If a stranger asks you to go in its car, say no. Unless, if it's family and friends, then you can trust people in that way. But if they're strangers and you never met them, do not tag along with them in their car, okay? They could do something bad to you, actually. I've already said number 3, number 1, number 2. So never walk with a stranger, never talk to a stranger. Those are the things you need to be aware of in the real world, because sometimes things can happen, and you see the news sometimes, things happen. Not for a reason, but they do it anyway. So technically speaking, you need to be aware of what's out there in the real world, technically. So there are not a lot of strangers, but there are a lot of people who are strangers, and you never talk to a stranger ever, unless if it's like your mom's friend or your sister's friend or someone that you know, someone that you can trust, and that's family and friends. Okay, right? So I talk about an actual stranger. Okay, so you see people all the time. It doesn't mean they're not strangers. They're people just walking by. But if you talk to a stranger and you don't even know them, then you're going to be in very big trouble, okay? So do not talk to a stranger ever. Like, ever. Okay, so if you're alone, basically, what I'm trying to say is if you're alone somewhere and someone's waiting for you, you don't go in someone's car, do you? No, that's just totally wrong. But just be aware of stranger danger. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys. So just be aware of it, okay? So that's all I got time for, guys. I'm Mila out.